Hey, what's going on, Mr. D? Back with you. I've been out for a little over a week, and great to be back getting into things, getting really excited, doing more research about jazz on my own, just to whether it be freshening up on some of the stuff I knew about or even learning new stuff about people I thought I knew a lot about. And also learning about people I didn't know much about. So some of these folks I'm learning right there with you. Coming to you from one of my absolute favorite venues I've ever been to in New York City, this place called Smalls. And what's cool about Smalls is they have a jam that they do every single Saturday. And so anybody who wants to sit in and play can sign up or let them know when they get there and can be a part of it. So it's a lot of fun, everybody getting together and just making music, or you could just go and watch. And one of my favorite jazz musicians used to play here a lot, Roy Hargrove, trumpet player. And that's not who I'm going to focus on today, but I am going to focus on one of the absolute greats, Miles Davis. Let's get into it. A huge addition to the jazz world, Miles Davis was both a great trumpeter and bandleader. Born in Illinois, he learned to play the trumpet at the age of 13, and he was already playing professionally by the time he hit 17 years old. And what's really cool is while he was playing in Illinois, he was asked to come up on stage with Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker when they were in town. And so that's when I think people started to realize just how great this guy was. Well, he was accepted to the Juilliard School of Music, one of the great music schools of the world in New York City. He was accepted, he went for 1 year, and while he was at Juilliard, he decided that he wanted to just play music full time. And so he left the school and was playing in New York City full time, started his own band of 6 musicians. With this group of guys in the late 50s, he had already recorded several albums, but he recorded what is known to be one of the greatest jazz albums of all time, but also it is the top-selling jazz album of all time, known as Kind of Blue. This is where he was experimenting with modes as opposed to a bunch of chord changes, and he was developing kind of the cool jazz sound with some other folks that were doing the same sort of thing at the same time. So it was a big deal. And but the cool thing about Miles Davis is he kept trying to find something new, which is so great in this style of music. Jazz has changed so much over the years, and he is a big part of that. And so after he recorded Kind of Blue, he then started to develop, as he got into the 60s and especially the 70s, jazz fusion, finding all these different sounds and instruments that were not normally used in jazz, and he was finding out ways to utilize them. He was using French horns, and then he was using electronic instruments, synthesizers, and creating these new sounds. That's what was so great about Miles Davis, is that he was always innovating. He was so creative and just kept things alive. All right, guys, great to talk to you. Great to see you again. And I will see you the next time with another great jazz musician.